Hey everyone, how's it going? Last week we talked about how to meditate, and this week I'm going to talk about personal reasons for meditation and some of my personal reasons why I have a practice. Alright, so everyone can have a practice for different reasonings. A lot of people just want to have a more spiritual life. Some people want to just practice mindfulness because they're stressed out at work or in a relationship that's stressful or whatever it may be. People have their own reasonings to have a basic meditation practice. For me personally, I had a little bit of experience with meditation before that. I did read some books on the subject that an older friend of mine had given me. He gave me these three books when I was about 16 or 17 to read, so we could talk about it after. It's something that he was into. He kind of, suggested that I read them when I was younger, and I was willing to do it. And reading those books kind of helped show me the possibilities of a different way of thinking about things. And it's actually three books I still own. I don't necessarily agree with a bunch of stuff that's in them anymore, but it kind of got me started on the whole thought process of just spirituality in general. But I really didn't start having a practice until I got to that treatment facility. I was about 20 years old. Before that, I was just using constantly and just wanting to party. I didn't have any form of practice, and this treatment facility that I was in, it's your basic 12-step program. I lived there. I went to groups at night. I had a counselor that I met with once a week, and me going to his office for one of my first sessions with him, or whatever you want to call it. He had one of the books on his shelves, and his Conversations with God. And of course, I mentioned the book, said I had read it when I was younger, and told him about some of the other books I had read, and we started talking about meditation. And it was something that he suggested that maybe I start trying to do it and see how it helps, because at that time I was wanting to use still. I was angry at everything and everyone, and just my head wasn't in a good place, and I wanted to be in a better place. So I followed that suggestion, all through treatment, and of course doing the other things that they recommended that I do. And my life day by day got a little bit better. I stopped thinking about wanting to use as much, and I stopped being as angry as much. And I think that was or at least I thought in my mind that was a direct relation to me having some form of a spiritual practice in my life. And I have continued to have some form of a regular meditation practice in my life for the last 11 years or so. And of course it's changed forms and all that. I've gone from reading books constantly just about Tibetan Buddhism. I've gone from reading books and being real into Hinduism and yoga and things like that, and even New Age style books, to where I am now with my practice, which is Western mysticism. And meditation is still a vital part of all that, and people may come to it for different reasons. It doesn't have to be for spiritual and religious reasons. There are science-based reasons behind meditation. Meditation is actually being used in places like corporations and prisons and schools because of the science-backed data to show that that's something that is very beneficial for people, especially with people that have things like anxiety and high blood pressure and depression, and just it helps with your focus and your performance and all these different things. That I think I think everyone should have a some form of practice, especially in today's world. You know, we have just all this insanity of everything that's going on. It's a lot. You know, people are constantly on their phones, are constantly getting bombarded with advertisements and just everything. It's good to just sit down every once in a while and try to still yourself and, you know, clear out your head. And it's something that can become not just when you sit down to meditate. It's something that can be a large part of your life. Like, you know, even at work, if I'll try to be mindful for a few minutes a day, just to kind of bring myself back to that space. And I don't know what I would be like or my recovery would be like if I would even be clean if I didn't have some form of practice. See that the changes in my personal life, you know, just through me, but like I do see meditation help change other people's lives, because I'm still in recovery and I still go to meetings and all that stuff. And like, you know, I see it from when people first come to meetings and they start doing some form of spiritual practice, whether it's yoga or meditation or journaling or whatever it is, and you can slowly see this change in personality. And it's like it's like a new person being born, or like someone finding themselves or who they actually are again for the first time. It's a really amazing experience. I always wonder what it'd be like if everyone had some form of a spiritual, you know, practice, whether it be meditation or prayer or whatever, if people would just be a little bit more kind to each other, a little bit more patient. And that's another thing, is that it helps make me patient. You know, I don't snap at my son as much. I don't snap at family members or friends or whatever. I mean, I used to be angry all the time. I used to punch holes in walls, and I used to break remotes and controllers and do all these things that, you know, made me look like an ass. But over the years, I've been able to calm down a lot, and I think it's something that everyone can benefit from. I know that I have in my life personally, and I kind of want to hear other people's experiences or why they want to meditate. If you want, you can just leave a comment down below and tell me why you either want to or why you do, your experiences with it. I'm also going to probably leave some links down below in the description box to some meditation studies and, you know, things like that. If you care to read them, and I guess we will talk next time. Later.